Am I the asshole for excluding my daughter's best friend from her birthday party? My 30s female daughter's 13 female birthday was last weekend. There's this trampoline park in town that offers sleepover parties where the kids could play for a few hours, watch a movie, and have a sleepover on the trampolines. Her school is very small, so there are only 20 students in her entire year. When we were booking the event, she said to only book 19 places. I asked her if she was sure she wasn't missing out someone, but she assured me there were only 19 kids in her class, and I was just misremembering. Fast forward to her birthday, and this girl, Camila, shows up with an entire box full of gifts: teddy bears, perfume, candles, nail polish, flowers, chocolates, etc. I remembered picking up my from school at the beginning of the school year and seeing her chatting and being very friendly with Camila. So I assumed they were quite good friends. When Camila went up to hug my daughter and wish her a happy birthday, she lightly pushed her away and told Camila she couldn't attend as we forgot to book her place. I apologized to Camila and her mother and offered to talk to the people in charge and pay for her place, but my daughter insisted that Camila couldn't come. Camila was very distraught over this and started sobbing. I pulled my daughter aside and asked her why Camila couldn't join, even though they used to be friendly and she'd invited every other student in her year. She said that Camila was just really weird, obsessive, and creepy, and she didn't want to be friends with her anymore. I asked her if Camila was bullying her, and she said no, she just didn't want to be around Camila. Camila's mother had found out about the party through another parent, and Camila decided to surprise my daughter, knowing she hadn't been given an invite. I returned the gifts to Camila, apologized again, and gently told her that there weren't enough spaces. Her mother started screaming at me, telling me that I was a grown adult woman, bullying a preteen girl. I told her that it was my daughter's birthday party. She could invite whoever she wanted. She accused me of raising my daughter to be a bully, and that she couldn't just invite the entire class and exclude one girl. She claimed that Camila was my daughter's best friend, and she had a right to be invited. I told her that my daughter's a teenager, not a 5-year-old. She can't be forced to invite the entire class just to be nice. I said that I didn't want to raise a doormat. I didn't want to teach her to value the feelings of others at the expense of her own. If my daughter feels uncomfortable around someone, then I prioritize her well-being over that of a stranger's. Camila's mother is now talking to the teachers to punish my daughter for bullying. I've tried explaining to her that my daughter was simply setting her boundaries. She shouldn't have to face consequences for that. Camila's mother said that I was an evil bitch who took joy in bullying little girls. Am I the asshole? You're the asshole. The real issue here is your daughter lied to you about the class size, so she could exclude this one person. It's possible that Camila makes your daughter uncomfortable, but it's also possible that your daughter is being unnecessarily mean. With teenagers, it could go either way. I think you should go to the school and find out what's going on. You have no way of knowing if your daughter actually is being a bully until you find out for yourself. If she is bullying your Camila, you need to know so you can correct the behavior. Don't be so quick to believe your daughter is innocent here. Someone told Camila she could come to this party. Ask yourself this question. How did Camila know where the party was and what time it started? Edit. Just so you all know, OP added the information about Camila's mom finding out the party details from another parent after the majority of people voted her the TA and suggested that her daughter was mean girl. I was one of the first people who commented on this post, and that bit of info wasn't there. OP is as manipulative as her daughter is. If she's in class all day with 19 other kids, all excited about the party, keeping it from her would be very difficult if they tried to. What your daughter did was mean. She invited the entire class with one exclusion. Your daughter is the bully. You're the asshole. For not shutting down the party right then and there. For your daughter lying to you about how many kids were in her class. Yes, she can invite who she wants if she does it openly and honestly. She didn't. She lied to you. And no, your daughter wasn't setting boundaries. She was cruel to one kid. I suspect she made a big deal out of giving out the invites as well, given that Camila knew exactly where and what time the party was at. 100% agree. I was the Camila when I was in school. All the girls in the class were invited to the birthday parties except me, because I was a bit weird. It destroyed me, along with the other bullying, and destroyed my confidence and self-esteem for years. So, you knew there were 20 kids in her class, but you believed her when she kept insisting otherwise? You also knew Camila, thought they were friends, but didn't know she wasn't invited? Were you not involved with the invitations at all? You want a kid who can speak up for herself. Great. But she didn't do that. She didn't tell you she didn't want to invite Camila. She lied to you to get her way, so she could purposely exclude the girl. She lied to Camila in front of you. You also lied to them. You didn't talk to the people in charge. You talked to your daughter, and then decided to tell them there weren't enough places. This isn't setting boundaries. You're the asshole. You're the asshole. When you are trying to fall asleep tonight, you should think of this situation and imagine you're a 13-year-old girl, excited to be going to a classmate's birthday party, selecting and bringing all the great gifts, only to be turned away in front of all your classmates because the birthday girl doesn't like you. Experiences like this are ones that stick with a person for life, and you should be ashamed of yourself. Am I the asshole for refusing to remove certain foods from my house because my husband's friend is allergic? My husband and I recently moved into the same city as his childhood best friend Steve. Steve is allergic to all nuts, legumes, and soy. Because of this, my husband wants our house to have a rule that we're not to have nuts in the house in case he comes over. I think this is a dumb rule and refuse to comply. I did agree to keep my nut-based products in a separate container, but my husband thinks that this isn't enough. I'm allergic to wheat, and we still have it in the house. I also think it's unnecessary. I don't know the extent of Steve's allergies, but it's not immediately life-threatening. He doesn't carry an EpiPen, and he also works in food service and frequently handles nuts. Being in the same room isn't going to hurt him. As long as we don't serve him food with nuts and watch for cross-contamination, we should be fine. The foods that Steve is allergic to are a big part of my diet. Also, this is where I live, not Steve, so I feel like I shouldn't have to cater to the possibility that he might come over at some point in future. But my husband is worried he'll accidentally cause his friend to have an allergic reaction if we don't keep the entire house free of allergens. Am I the asshole for refusing to go along with that? Steve is a visitor and may become a frequent one, given that he's your husband's best friend. He's working around the things he's allergic to and doesn't carry an EpiPen for emergencies, so there's no need to do anything other than exclude the allergens from any dishes you share with Steve. Your husband acts like the house needs decontamination because Steve is moving in and becoming the new sister wife? Not the asshole. You and me, just us, and your friend Steve. Steve. Just to be clear, not the asshole. Husband, when Steve has an allergy. My husband is worried he'll accidentally cause his friend to have an allergic reaction if we don't keep the entire house free of allergens. Husband, when wife has an allergy. I'm allergic to wheat, and we still have it in the house. Not the asshole. It seems you come second after Steve, if you come at all, which is worrying. Not the asshole. It seems you come second after Steve if you come at all, which is worrying. It's finally me and you and me. Just us and your friend Steve. Not the asshole. Why is your husband worried about keeping Steve's allergens out of your house, but not your allergens? Not the asshole. This is where I live, not Steve. Beginning and end of this, as far as I'm concerned. Well, that's another episode of Am I the Asshole in the books. I really appreciate all of you who made it this far into the video. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, it would really help the channel out a lot if you gave the video a thumbs up, subscribe, or leave a comment down below. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.